Hey everybody, welcome back and Happy New Year. We hope you have a great 2018. I got a question for you. You know, sometimes we have, when we're turning pens, especially acrylics, basically, when we have blanks that are a little transparent, and sometimes we can see the brass tube up underneath. Do you paint your tube, and do you paint the inside of the blank? Or you do both? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to run a test where we're going to use some CA glue on 3 blanks. We're going to use some 2-part epoxy on 3 blanks. And we're going to do a combination of painting and not painting, and then put some things together and see which one comes out the best. Stay tuned, and I'm glad you tuned in. Well, to begin with, I cast 4 blanks in clear alumalite, and then I drill the tubes to 7mm. I think what I'm going to do is cut these in half, and I've got an extra one if we need to redo something, but I think I'm going to cut these in half. We've got 6 blanks I've cast in clear alumalite. That's so that we can see the tube once we get it glued in, so we can see what impact these glues have on the paints. But we're going to glue 3 tubes in with 2-part epoxy. We're going to glue 3 tubes in with CA glue. Now, as far as painting, in each one, on one of them I'm going to paint the tube only, one I'm going to paint the inside of the blank only, and then one I'm going to paint both the tube and the blank. I'm going to paint the ones we'll do with CA glue with green. I'm going to paint the ones in 2-part epoxy. I'm actually going to use blue. I started to use yellow, but yellow doesn't show up real well on this gold or brass blank. So we're going to use green for CA and blue for 2-part epoxy. I've already roughed up the tubes. Now we can begin painting. Now I'm going to use this Tester's model paint. Now I'm going to use enamel. They also make a set that's acrylic. I tried those and it flakes right off. This says that this is for wood, plastic, metal, and whatnot. And they use them in model cars. So that's what we're going to use. We will begin with the blue. We need 2, one for the tube only and one for the tube and the blank. Now we'll let those dry most of the day, maybe even tomorrow, before we come back and glue the tubes in. Alright, it's the next morning and I'm gonna glue the tubes in. First off, we'll glue in the one that it's the tube only that's painted. I've already got my epoxy mixed up here. Tube only will be this one. Okay, next one is the blank only. So one of the clear ones goes into that. Or unpainted ones, rather. And then the last one is the tube and the blank. What we'll do is go ahead and glue these tubes in, give them a good chance to dry, and then we'll come back and evaluate them. Okay, now we'll move to the CA glue. Alright, painting the tube only. Now the blank only. And lastly, are both tube and our blank. Alright, let's evaluate what's going on here. First of all, let's look at the CA glue blanks first. Number one was tube only, where we painted only the tube. And as we can see here, part of the paint kind of clouded, didn't stay green for some reason. I don't see any brass in there, so I'm not sure if the tube is exposed or not, but there's definitely some discoloration in there. That is painting the tube only with CA glue. Number two, we painted the blank only, and it looks fine. I see no discoloration at all. I see no brass tubes. And the adhesion on all of these is real good. I cannot twist this tube out at all. Back to this one. Cannot get the tube to come out. And the last one, we painted the tube and the blank, and it too is very green. It's kind of frosty there, but very green. I see no brass in it. I see no discoloration. So the only one that really gave us any kind of problem was where we painted the tube only. And I'm not sure what's going on with that one. Now let's look at two-part epoxy. Again, number one is painting the tube only. And again, we have some discoloration, and it looks like maybe a little glue or paint was lost. And there I see just a trace of brass. But you can definitely see some discontinuity in the blue, just like you could on our green blanks. You can see some discontinuity in the green. This is where we painted only the tube. Number two blank is where we painted the inside of the blank only. And again, that's a very, very good color continuity. See no problems with any of that at all. It's just as blue as it was. And again, let's see if we can by chance get this. Adhesion is very good. no slippage. And then the last one is where we painted the tube and the blank, as we can see right here, number 3. And again, very blue, no discontinuity in color. So given those results, I would lend myself to painting either with the CA glue or 2-part epoxy. I would lend myself to painting the blank only, the inside of the blank only. You could do the other two if you want, but it's just a little more work, and what I see here, we got no benefit from it. So I may start painting the inside of the blank only, at least with testers. Now the question would be, sometimes I use the spray Krylon because it also says it's for plastic and metal and wood. Maybe in a few months we'll do the same test using that paint as opposed to testers. But painting the tubes only looks like it creates problems. Painting the blank only, it looks fine, and you can also paint the blank and the tube. Hey, I hope this was helpful for you. I know I learned something out of it. Traditionally, I've been painting the tubes. This tells me I was wrong. I had a viewer to tell me that last year. He said, never paint the tube, always paint the blank. Well, turns out he was right. And forgot the name right now, but thank you. That led partly to this experiment. We hope this helps you in your pen making, especially if you're using acrylics. If you like what you saw, share our video, give us a thumb up, leave me a comment. What have you been doing? Have you been painting tubes? Have you been painting the blank? Let me know. I'm curious. And is this video going to influence what you do at all? So, all my social media information's in the description below. Also, in the near future, I'm going to be updating my website. Some of these pens that you see us make, they're going to be up for sale on my website. Be looking for that, along with some of my hats and a number of other things. But be looking for that. I am glad you tuned in. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up. Share our video, like our video, and leave me some comments. Thanks a lot, and until next time, be safe.